Hi everyone, it's Matt's dad here again after a break of a couple of months at least, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I've got my personal assistant here, Matt, who's going to be pressing the buttons for me because I'm absolutely still hopeless at it after over a year of trying. But it's my yearly do at the Dad's Ultimate Team, and I'll let you off this time, Matt. You've missed an apostrophe, but I think we can live with that. I've gone for a 4-1-2-1-2 formation this time. Totally different to last year's team, which we'll have a little chat about later maybe. Right, this is what last year's team looked like. I actually had Neuer, who I can't pronounce very well. Is that correct, Matt?
Yeah, it's good.
Got him this time, practicing overnight for that one. Neuer in goal last year. Marcelo, I pronounced that one better as well, because I got a few comments on that and how to pronounce it. Two centre-backs were Beckenbauer and Silva. And at right back it was Lahm. And the rest of the team, midfield, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, my favourite player Iniesta, Mateus, and Messi on the outside as well. And the two forwards I picked last year were Pele and Suarez. So let's see how they compare to my new Ultimate Team for 2017 to 18.
Suarez.
Okay, time for the new Ultimate Team. In goal, someone who may be new to you. Although he's in the 60s, he was recognised as the best goalkeeper of all time then. His record speaks for itself. He played nearly 100 games for Russia, including in the World Cup in '66, and believe it or not, my dad saw him play. I believe he saved over 150 penalties, which in today's records, well, it is a record, isn't it, man? Mm-hmm. No one's ever approached that. So in goal is Lev Yashin, the Russian. Yeah, it's probably the Soviet Republic then, but yeah, it's Russia now. Moving on now to right back, I've picked Zanetti. When I did this Ultimate Team overnight, I had a quick look through it. I wondered how many of these that I picked from my original team were actually on FIFA. And my first choice there was going to be Cafu. But he's not in FIFA, is he?
No, Zanetti, he was world class, so I think he'd be happy with
Zanetti was, but I think Cafu was better. He had 147 appearances for Brazil.
Zanetti had more.
I think he had 145, was it?
Damn, that's close.
Oh, spot on. Damn close. You know you're going to have to check Cafu because you hate being wrong, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on then next to first of the centre-backs. I've gone for two Spanish centre-backs this time. First one being Ramos. He's just so consistent for Real Madrid, and plus he notches a lot of goals as well. Only negative for him, he gets sent off so often. If he can cool down, well, it doesn't need to cool down a bit. He's approaching the end of his career, but I think he still needs to be in there. And once again, you know, I think he's probably one of the best centre-backs that the Spanish league has produced. But not far behind him, so that they can speak the same language and converse with each other.
Well, yeah, but then I wonder if Pele would speak Catalan.
Very topical, yeah. And would they let him play now, or would they throw things at him like they did at Piqué, didn't they? So yeah, Puyol, you just announced it, Matt, is my other centre-back. Retired, a year ago, was it?
No, 4?
4 years ago, was it? God, it doesn't seem that long. But to me, he's like a Rottweiler. If you saw him coming out against you, imagine he's going to growl at you. It'd be frightening coming up against him.
There's a stat on you that as well.
Yeah. 593 appearances for Barcelona. And Spain, 100 exactly, is that, or 106 without my glasses. But he only got 3 goals. I imagine Ramos got a lot more, did he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot more goals, but I'd be picking him for his defensive capabilities more than anything. And at left back, delighted to get someone from the past here that still exists on FIFA, and it's Paolo Maldini. I don't think there's been a left back to touch him. You know, my choice last year was Marcelo, who may be slightly better going forward, a lot more assists, but I would suggest Maldini is probably one of the best defensive left backs I've ever seen. Right, so that's the back four and the goalkeeper sorted. Moving on now, I've picked a central defensive midfielder, and he was in my Ultimate Team, not just the FIFA Ultimate Team. And I think he's probably the best defensive midfielder I've ever seen, and that's Lothar Matthäus. He was in my team last year as well, so he must have played well to stay in there. What's that? I don't recollect him being that fast. 87 pace acceleration. I don't recollect that, but I picked him more as a stopper. But he was a brilliant reader of the game, and having him in front of you, in front of your back four, is something that every team now is going for. And I think Liverpool are missing until we get, what's his name, was Canter. I was thinking Canter. We'll get him at a canter, will we? Not a gallop?
It isn't canter. It's kiter.
Kiter? I knew it began with K. Okay, let's go fly a kiter. Yeah, go on. So we've got him in the end. Yeah, Liverpool getting. What I'm trying to suggest that everyone needs in today's attacking formation, especially with your fullbacks going forward, you do need a central defensive midfielder. Okay, now this is, I think, in my view, these 5 attacking midfielders pick themselves to a degree. I think in my new team I would have liked to have in Johan Cruyff, he of the famous Cruyff turn. I can't believe no one ever did that before him.
Cruyff?
It is Cruyff. Cruyff, do you want to call him Cruyff?
Okay.
Okay, I think it's Cruyff anyway. So yeah, I would have picked him, but unfortunately he's not in FIFA. But I've drafted in up front someone else who I'll come on to in a minute. But
Which position?
I'm now moving on to the left winger, as they call it here, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo. Absolutely amazing. Him and Messi have won, is it the last 9 Ballon d'Ors between them? Are they level, or is Cristiano ahead by 1 now? I've lost track.
I think they're I think maybe Messi may have won more, I'm not sure.
Oh, I can't remember. I had to look and I've forgotten who it was now, but his record speaks for itself. He wins games on his own, and you know the fact that Portugal won the European champions, well, they are European champions. He brought them through that, although he was injured a bit throughout, but he was superb to get them through to there. On the opposite wing, the obvious contender, I've mentioned him already, is Lionel Messi. He's probably, I keep saying it's him or Iniesta. I love Iniesta because he's small, he played my position, not as good as me obviously, but him and Messi are my 2 favourite current players. Messi I could watch for hours, and the fact he got another hat-trick to drag Argentina through to the World Cup finals, which is, you know, it's testament to his ability to win a game on his own, similar to Ronaldo. So he has to be in the team. Next, just behind the front 2, I'll come on to in a minute, I'd go for Diego Maradona. Although I hate him for his hand-to-God goal or whatever else, I actually watched that live and it was very painful to watch because everyone could see it. But his second goal that killed us off in that game is just a joy to behold. You just flashed his stats up there, Matt, and his speed and whatever else. It's his speed of thought as well. Dribbling, I don't know if there's ever been anyone better than him. There was a Brazilian from years ago called Garrincha, who was reading up about.
I think he invented the flip-flap, didn't he?
Who's that?
Garrincha.
Yeah, do you know what Garrincha means? The little wren.
Yeah, but also.
Oh, but also.
I used to do a lot of Brazilian research. He had. I think he was born with defects.
Okay.
So his leg.
Right.
I think his one leg was like longer than the other, and then it's something okay. Like that.
Well, that was fascinating. Thanks for that. Yeah. So we've got Maradona sitting behind the front 2 of this attacking formation, and up front there's one that picks himself in any team and is probably the best footballer of all time, and that's Pele. With over, we remembered how many goals, over 1,200 goals. 1,268. Was it? Oh, you know you're going to get the comments back to tell you exactly. I asked you that last time, so yeah, he's got to be in there. He wasn't that tall, but his spring when he got up to go for headers, it's like having what's his name, Crouch up there. He just had such an incredible leap to get to high balls. He scored a hell of a lot of goals with his head.
Do Nascimento or is it Nascimento?
Nascimento. I thought it was Di Nascimento, but yeah, it's down as Nascimento. He only played for 2 teams, and I don't think you can count New York Cosmos in there. It was very early days for the MLS, as they called it then. But Santos, 643 goals in 656 appearances is testament to what a great player he was. And once again, coming back to my old dad in the 66 World Cup finals, he saw him play at Goodison, where he was kicked off the park. It wouldn't be allowed now. 4 of the opposition would have been sent off and they weren't even booked. So, and my final choice, because I couldn't have Cruyff or Cruyff, however you want to say it, has got to be, I believe his first name now is R9, and it's Ronaldo. Second Ronaldo in the team.
Quick question, which World Cup did he have that haircut?
Oh, which World Cup?
There you go.
Where are we now?
Just in case you need a reminder.
Okay, 30. 90... Well, I'm trying to remember which years the World Cups were.
Should know this.
6. 98? Go on then.
2002.
Oh, there's only one out in terms of 4 years, mind you, but yeah. So classic haircut as well, which, yeah, he gets in for the haircut. Maradona could lend him some, I suppose, couldn't he? But, so that's it really, my ultimate team. Very attacking minded, 2 attacking fullbacks, but centre of the defence, 2 Spaniards to police it, and with Mateus just in front of them, I think that is quite a well-balanced team. I'd love to hear your comments on it. As I say, there's quite a hell of a difference compared to my ultimate team last year. I believe a lot of you have seen me on here before, can't believe I haven't fitted Suarez in there somewhere, but I don't think I can even be that biased. With, you know, 2 Ronaldos, a Messi, a Maradona and a Pele up front, I can't think how you can beat those 5, and I'd love to hear your comments about who you would pick if there's anyone different there. So, thanks again for listening, everyone. Thanks, Matt, for helping me out when I'm struggling with my words and pronunciations and everything else. If you follow me on Instagram, that's great. Look out for me on there, DadLFC. Thanks, Matt, for setting me up. Good fun. And speak to you all soon.